Imagine visiting a new country and the first greeting you get is a cold shoulder instead of a warm smile. Surprisingly, this happens more often than you might think. Traveling opens doors to new cultures and experiences, but sometimes it also opens a window to unexpected rudeness. Often, what might feel like a snub is just a cultural misunderstanding. Around the globe, the perception of rudeness varies widely and can lead to some eye-opening experiences for travelers. Stay tuned as we count down the top 10 countries perceived to have the rudest people, starting at number 10. Starting off our list at number 10, we have Turkey. In this vibrant country, cultural misunderstandings can sometimes lead to perceptions of rudeness. For instance, the Turkish people often engage in very direct communication, which might seem blunt to visitors from more reserved cultures. Additionally, refusing to haggle in markets, a common practice elsewhere, is not always well received here. However, once travelers grasp these nuances, the apparent brusqueness often transforms into an appreciated candor. While it might catch some off guard, many find the straightforwardness refreshing once they understand it. At number 9, Poland makes the list. In the bustling streets of Warsaw or the quiet lanes of Krakow, you might find the locals a bit reserved, especially in public spaces. This often misunderstood demeanor isn't rudeness, but rather a reflection of their cultural norms. Poles typically value privacy and may not engage in small talk with strangers, which can be perceived as cold or indifferent by those from more overtly friendly cultures. It's all about the context and understanding local customs. Number 8 brings us to Italy. Italy, a land where the conversation is as rich and robust as their espresso. Here the locals embrace a communication style that's full of gesticulation and passion. To an unaccustomed ear, it might come off as aggressive. Italians aren't shy about expressing their emotions, whether it's debating the best way to make pasta or which football team deserves the championship. It's a cultural flair that's unmistakably Italian. But remember, it's often just a lively way of expressing themselves. Landing at number 7, we have Spain. When you first step into the vibrant streets of cities like Madrid or Barcelona, you might notice how animated and loud conversations can get. Spaniards often speak with a robust volume and might even interrupt one another during discussions. To an outsider, this could easily be mistaken for rudeness. However, this is simply a cultural expression of their passion and engagement. It's all part of the lively Spanish engagement in conversations. Halfway through, at number 6, it's the USA. In the land of the free, Americans often embrace a style of communication that's as bold as it is direct. This no-frills, straight-to-the-point approach can sometimes be perceived as brash, or even rude by those from cultures where indirectness and formality are cherished. It's common to hear Americans using first names in situations where others might opt for more formal titles, blurring the lines of hierarchy and potentially ruffling feathers. Understanding the American context sheds light on these interactions. If you're feeling adventurous, consider swinging by our Patreon page. By supporting us at patreon.com/exploreepic, or simply clicking the link in the description, you'll unlock a treasure trove of exclusive content. Your support fuels our explorations into unique cultural insights and helps keep the adventure going. Every contribution makes a huge difference in bringing more of these eye-opening stories to light. Thanks for your support, and now back to our countdown. Number 5 is China. Stepping into China can feel like entering a world with its own unique set of social rules. Visitors often find themselves startled by behaviors such as the casual approach to queuing and the prevalent habit of spitting in public places. These actions, while perfectly normal in local contexts, can seem quite rude to those unacquainted with the culture. It's a vivid reminder of how diverse global etiquettes can be. What's customary there might be strange elsewhere. Next up at number 4, Russia. In Russia, the cultural norm tilts towards a no-nonsense demeanor, especially in public spaces. Visitors often interpret this straightforwardness as cold or even rude. However, it's essential to understand that this is more about cultural context than actual intent. Russians typically reserve smiles and warmth for familiar faces, rather than offering them freely to strangers. This approach can indeed come off as standoffish to those not used to such interactions, but that's just the surface of a rich cultural etiquette. At number 3, we have the United Kingdom. Now, the Brits are known for their biting sarcasm and a particularly dry sense of humor. This iconic British wit is practically a national treasure, but it's not always a hit with everyone. To those not familiar with it, these jokes can come off as quite sharp or even rude. Picture someone not quite catching the sarcasm, and you can see how misunderstandings happen. It's all in good fun, though often misinterpreted. Almost there. At number 2, Germany. In Germany, timeliness isn't just a courtesy, it's a way of life. This intense focus on efficiency and punctuality often shapes interactions. While this can streamline processes and enhance productivity, it may also come across as curt to those not used to such rigor. This straightforward manner is typically about maintaining order and maximizing effectiveness, rather than personal disregard. Remember, when in Germany, it's wise to watch the clock just as closely as the locals do. Efficiency is key in Germany, and it's nothing personal. And the top spot for perceived rudeness goes to France. In France, there is a high value placed on etiquette and the proper use of the French language. This emphasis can sometimes come off as intimidating, especially to tourists who might not be fluent in French or familiar with the local customs. Visitors often interpret this as aloofness or rudeness. However, it's important to understand that this is a deep-rooted part of French culture, emphasizing respect and propriety. Once you get past that, the charm of France is undeniable. That wraps up our tour of the top 10 countries where people are often perceived as rude. Remember, these perceptions can stem from cultural misunderstandings and don't reflect the attitudes of everyone in these nations. It's important to approach each interaction with an open mind, as experiences with rudeness can vary widely from person to person. Exploring cultural differences is a journey full of surprises and learning opportunities. If you enjoyed this cultural exploration, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for more exciting content.